Lively Game of the Day. Kirbys Dream versus Zaebaezae. Adder versus Grimm.
Welcome back to the channel, everybody. Sammy Original Guy, aka Mr. Cannon from Advanced Wars by Web, bringing you another lively game of the day. Today we have Kirbys Dream and Zaebaezae. We are fighting on its free real estate. That's where we're fighting today, folks. This is a base light matchup, Fog of War, with two base and airport support, comm towers in the center of the map, folks, on either side. Now, we have Adder and we have Grimm. The Grimmy boy is the one that's on the field today versus Adder, his arch nemesis of tier 4. Now, this is a pretty small map. It's Fog of War. Got an airport. HQs. I wouldn't say the HQs are very exposed. They're pretty far back there, but I don't know. I think this is going to be a good one. This one was suggested to me by Red Flowers in the Advanced Wars by Web Discord, who has actually recommended quite a few games. Thank you very much, Red Flowers. Much appreciated, my friend. So without further ado, let's go ahead and see what went down in the live league today. On the first few days, folks, you all know the deal. It is the standard infantry builds, because you gotta get the infantry on the field. It is the #1 priority in Advanced Wars by Web, after all. #2 priority in Advanced Wars by Web is making sure that you like and subscribe to the channel if you were not already for that hot live league action, folks. Everybody loves a little bit of live league out there in the ether, and I am just here to provide it to you. Now, on day 2, standard capture chains are continuing here. It looks like Zaebaezae, our Adder player, is actually jumping ahead to grab one of the forward neutral properties, grabbing the secondary property in the back second, as Kirbys Dream has decided to grab the back property first and then go forward. So very interesting tactics indeed. A little bit of a difference between these two players at the moment. Zaebaezae, the Adder player, has decided to bust out the artillery as the first vehicle of the game, whereas Kirby decides to bust out the tank. Now, Grimm is actually very, very effective when it comes to battle with artillery. Okay, his artillery is super strong. In Fog of War, actually, I would say they're probably even a little bit stronger, but recons tend to be very plentiful, you could say, in a Fog of War. But it looks like now we are going for the comm tower. Now the question... Oh, interesting. Okay, so... maybe if Kirbys Dream decides to move the tank first, he might be able to get an interrupt. Yep, looks like we are going to get an interrupt here. Pretty savage interrupt, not going to lie. 50% damage on the comm tower here. Another tank and a mech purchase. I think mechs are going to be very effective on this map too. The very, very quick reinforcement range from that base to the center here will make mech combat very, very effective. Now, Adder busting out the tank now. Definitely got to get the tanks on the field. They are super, super strong, and you got to get them. Alright, another 7-5 trade over here, but that infantry is in range of one of Adder's infantry. Let's see if it goes in and does the attack or not. Ooh, we have an interrupt on the infantry. Perfect placement for the artillery, folks. That is one sneaky artillery if I've ever seen it. Going for the destruction of that infantry and capturing one of the middle properties. Now busting out the battlecopter. Beautiful. So Adder battlecopters super good against Grimm, but Grimm battlecopters are super good against anybody. Anybody. They're probably his strongest unit. Folks, if you guys are going to be playing Grimm, you have to understand that Grimm, when it comes to his style of playing, he is a... how would you say? He's a defensively offensive CO. He uses his extremely high firepower in order to zone you out because you don't want to get first struck by him. And his copters are incredibly powerful. So you have a couple copters on the field, you start zoning out your opponent, you're going to be doing wonders, folks. Alright, but he does have a very high skill ceiling, whatever. Anyways, so we got some captures going on here. It looks like Kirbys Dream is trying to flip one of Zaebaezae's properties at the moment while going for the calm tower simultaneously on the other side of the map here. Zaebaezae could potentially go in for an interrupt. However, that will result in the loss of several infantry here. Going for a very curious attack here, actually going in with the tank first, but has the artillery in place, but the artillery is now exposed. So the artillery is going to be able to be seen by Grimm now. So Grimm knows that it's not really worth it to go in for that attack. Curious to see if he's going to be a little bit yeety and go in for it anyways, folks. We do have sort of a lower level game here today between these two players. This is from the live queue. I'm not opposed to ever doing games from the live queue as well for Live League Game of the Day. I do consider the live queue technically live league. In a way, it's just unrated is all. But you can get some pretty fantastic games there, folks. There are a lot of really good players that queue in live queue and not live league. So if you're going to be queuing in there looking for an easy match, you know, you might be mistaken, to say the least. But it looks like Zaebaezae is going in for some pretty brutal attacks here, completely winning the Eastern Front now. So that is pretty strong. Bust out the classiest unit in Advances by Web too, folks. The classy medium tank. You got to get them on the field, folks. That is the number 4 priority in Advances by Web. However, Grimm has the battlecopter, does put it in range of an but let's say puts it in range of an anti-air, but tank was in position to smack that anti-air into oblivion, and now we're having a pretty good time. So anti-air runs back to get some heals. Copter's moving over to the other front now. I'm not really sure how I feel about that. I would probably prefer to keep my copters over on the strong front and just completely win that side, but Adder is really good at front shifting, so being able to do something like this might not necessarily be the worst thing for him, folks. Let's see what he manages to do with this kind of a front shift. Now, the recon is in the center of the map now. That does give intel that the front shift could potentially be happening, so Kirby is going to be on top of this, folks. He's going to be sending some units into the center to meet and greet the enemy forces. Oh, this is going to be a tricky situation. Is Zaebaezae going to go up and yeet his copters, or is he going to keep him back into the fence? Ooh, he's going to keep him back into the fence. Very good, very good. Very strong awareness. Now, some people might go up and try to yeet themselves into that tank and take one engagement. Definitely not the scenario that you want to be doing. Oh, this is a very interesting scenario right here, because this leaves so many attacks that could potentially be done here. Interesting. That is a pretty good push over here from Kirby's Dream. Actually came back from like 13 to like 19 unit deficit there, which is pretty wild. Zaebaezae busting out the co-power, the side slip +1 movement here. And getting an effective 2-shot right here, moving in with the 5 HP anti-air. Let's see how much damage this sucker is about to do here. Oh, takes it all the way down to 2. What a brutal hit. Following up with another attack here, and then using another copter to get a one-shot city, folks. That is powerful. That's powerful stuff right there. Medium tank moving in. I would have probably wanted to see this 3 HP infantry just sacrifice itself into that... oh, wait, no, this was a joint cap, right? Yeah, joint cap. Okay, no, that would not work. So definitely good awareness to just not throw away a unit needlessly. Alright, Grimm once again moving the units up. Activates the Haymaker, the Super Co-Power. Some people say the Super Co-Power is not worth it just because you get tons of firepower from the normal Co-Power, but some people are not Kirby's Dream, folks. Kirby's Dream busts out the full force action here, folks. Rushing in, doing tons of one-shots here, bringing the unit count of Adder down to 22, busting out 3 more units, 19 to 17 units now. Ooh, very nice, very nice. Okay, so there are still plenty of available attacks here, and Zaebaezae might be able to capitalize on some of them. Let's see what he manages to do. That's an easy snipe, obviously. Ooh, this tank shot I might disagree with, but we will see what follows up. Gonna snipe out that tank and snipe out that infantry. Gonna attack another tank. It's a fair assessment considering the information that we have for sure. Alright, Kirby's Dream, absolutely no charge in the bank here. Finds 3 available attacks here, 4 available attacks, and manages to actually take a recon all the way down to 3. Pulls back the mechs, pulls forward the infantry, and then tosses 2 more tanks, a battlecopter, and a mech into the fray, folks. Those guys are going to be coming in hot very, very soon. Zaebaezae down to 15 units. Could potentially pop a power here. Let's see if he's going to do it. Pops the power, +1 movement here. Let's go ahead and see what he manages to do with that. Does have vision up here. There's just a little bit of a visual glitch here. Manages to snipe out an anti-air. Very strong snipe. Brings the 1 HP anti-air back. Gets some heals. Goes in for a capture. Uses the classiest unit in Advanced by Web to eliminate an infantry. Unknowing to him that there is some deadly mosquitoes in the shade, folks, and they are ready to suck the blood out of that classy boy. Feasting very, very heartily today, folks. I very much fear for this classy mutant tank, especially with a knuckle duster as well, folks. This could potentially be catastrophic for our good friend, the classy boy. Now let's see what happens over here on day 16 as many mechs are pushing forward. This infantry getting the interrupt, leading to an attack. Oh my god, 40% damage, followed by another 40% damage. That poor classy mutant tank sitting at 2 HP now. It never got a chance to feed, folks. Never got a chance to feed. You don't want to be losing your classy mutant tanks before their time. But over on the eastern front, Zaebaezae is hitting Grimm hard, taking out multiple units. Don't really agree with the order of that attack. Definitely go copter first so that you can save your infantry the HP. Would have been able to get the clear regardless here, folks. Definitely a little bit of tiny things that you have to watch out for when you're playing Advanced by Web. Now, when we're playing Live League, it's understandable that we can make these mistakes sometimes. Everybody makes them. I make those mistakes more than anybody else in the entire game. I can guarantee you that. But I speak from a place of knowledge, folks. Knowledge and experience, and you just don't want to be doing it. You got to find those proper attack orders. Now, day 17. Adder is ahead in units, 18-13, but lower in value. I wonder if he sees this recon hidden in the forest. Does he remember where it was? Does he remember where it goes? It looks like he's found it, and he's taken it out, folks. No more intel for Grimm. And that's where you want to be, folks. You want to be in a place where there's no intel for Grimm. Busting out an infantry, folks. Another battlecopter, another infantry. Not too shabby at all. Banking 2.8k as well. Kirby's Dream is ahead overall in income, sitting at 17 per turn. Busts out a flippin' rocket, folks. Got a rocket on the field. Now, for those of you that have been around following the channel for a very long time, you do know that rockets do tend to get bullied over here on the semi-original guy channel. So we are going to see if that is a trend that continues here very, very soon. As Zaebaezae death balls his units over on the eastern front, awaiting Grimm to push in and make a mistake. Is he going to push in and make a mistake, or is he going to wait for an opportunity? It looks like he waits for an opportunity. He literally, what was that? Like, he moved like 2 units and then just ended his turn. He's got no reason to like do anything. Like, what was that actually? What was that? Yeah, we moved the tank and that's it. Yeah. Pfft. It's like Grimm's just like, I have the perfect position here. I don't want to move. Everything is going to be great. You just come to me, Adder. There is no reason for me to move. And that is completely true in this instance, because Adder is the one that needs to go and capture a property. It is not up to Grimm to capture a property now. Grimm could just sit back and just wait. Just wait. He could wait the entire game out, folks. Adder's the one that needs to make something happen. One shot on the artillery as the battlecopter moves in. Holy flippin' macaroni and cheese, folks. Such a massive attack. And so many copters on the field. Like I was saying, that's what you got to do when you're playing Grimm, folks. You got to bust out the battlecopters. You got to bust out the indirects. Rocket, a little bit of questionable choice, but it did get massive value right there, folks. Zaebaezae once again busting out the power, +1 movement, moves himself onto the mountain, and now has so much intel. This is knowledge, folks. This is knowledge right here. Look at this. He sees everything over here. Doesn't spot the what is it called? The rocket yet. He doesn't spot the rocket. He might not know about the rocket. That's kind of a risky attack, but he's gonna go in for it because he's spicy. He's spicy, and he just wants Grimm to suffer. He does not want Kirby's dream to come to fruition. He wants it to be Kirby's nightmare. That's what he wants, folks. He wants that dream to be a nightmare. Could actually make a play to capture a property here too. Oh, I would have definitely made the play to go for that property. I mean, he's got units here. The best thing that could happen if you go for this property, it would force one of these units to have to go and interrupt and then not be able to move over here. And if you got unit count advantage, that is definitely important. Now, mind you, this is Fog of War, so we don't know what the unit count is from either of these players. That is a mystery. Another mystery is how much damage is this Knuckle Duster going to do, folks? I believe that this is 150% firepower? I think it's 150. Yeah. So it's a lot. Battlecopters move in. Was that the flipping anti-air that just exploded? Yeah, the anti-air exploded in one shot, folks. Battlecopter moving in once again. Tank one-shotting, mech one-shotting. Combo attack right there. No more intel. Base locks himself for no more intel and then busts out more units. Okay. Got ourselves a little bit of what you would call a situation here, folks. Now, Zaebaezae right now could do massive damage. Like, a very good amount of damage to the battlecopters. There's multiple attacks that could happen here. If we manage to get the side slip, that is one more battlecopter. Take out this backline battlecopter with this anti-air. Then attack, like, I don't know, like the two frontline ones, and then crash this one into this or something. If you're able to do it, definitely some potential. Some potential indeed. Let's see what occurs. This classic medium tank needs to get to the front line though, folks. 110%. Alright, gonna bust up the power. Which one are we gonna go for? Ooh. Go for the 8 HP one. No, go for the full HP one. I mean, the anti-air is kind of doomed anyways. We're gonna leave it? Yeah, we're gonna leave it hanging right there. Ooh, nice clear right there though. You know, whatever. It is what it is, folks. It is what it is. And probably that's the better of the two moves, but I would have liked to see the full HP one get destroyed, because now we lost both and the anti-air. There is absolutely no counter to those battlecopters out on the field, folks. This is an insanely dangerous situation to be in. You need to eliminate the tanks. Why would... No, hold on. Hold the phone. Attack it with the classiest unit in advance was by web. There's like no other place where this classy boy can really attack. He can attack over here, but is it going to be like super effective? Like, I don't know. I hope he goes... Alright, so he attacks there. Alright, it does good damage. I'm not going to lie. Maybe that's fine. Okay, another anti-air on the field. Forced anti-air purchases over here, folks. Every single day, we got to take care of this flipping battlecopters. Something's got to be done about these battlecopters over here, folks. As another one of them interrupts a cap, actually destroys the cap. And then another tank destroys a mech. And then two battlecopters come in and destroy our classiest unit in advance was by web. Oh my god, this is a frighteningly dangerous situation to be in. Popping another power, but is it going to be enough? Oh, that is savage movement over here from Zaebaezae, managing to find the attack on the battlecopter. Should be able to get the clear on this battlecopter with a wraparound attack. There we flip and go, folks. There we flip and go. Now we are cooking. Alright, another anti-air on the field. Tank clear. This rocket, though, has been surprisingly unbullied this entire game. Something's got to be done about that rocket. Base locks himself with the rocket. Interesting. That's a curious move indeed. Curious move. Is what it is. Is what it is, folks. Wild stuff. Day 24. And now, once again, Zaebaezae rushes to protect his HQ with his main army here. Goes for another cap. May or may not go through. We shall find out. Rocket moves back into the forest to protect the two properties over on the eastern front. Good spot for the rocket, not gonna lie. You know what? This rocket might be one of the first rockets in the history of the channel to not be bullied, as a copter has exploded out of nowhere due to lack of fuel. Those fuel prices are incredibly high, folks. You got to save where you can to get some fuel. All right, join cap, and we have a mini surround of the property and bring the units forward. I don't really like the placement of the battle copter though. It is definitely a little bit exposed, but the sheer amount of anti-airs around that area is definitely something to admire, folks. Knuckle Duster moving in, and then eliminates the battlecopter, eliminates the infantry, basically eliminates the infantry, and gets another attack. That right there, as the flood of units come in, is the end of the game. Unfortunately, the position Zaebaezae created was not strong enough to withhold against the might that is Grimm. What a fantastic game from these two players. Definitely a few things I could see that need to be worked on, but Live League is a crazy place, and it is fine to play it however you want to play it, folks. Wonderful game. Absolutely loved it. Thanks for the recommendation for that one. Very cool game. Had a lot of fun doing it. Hopefully you all enjoyed it at home, and if you did, consider leaving a like, comment, or subscribe to the channel if you are not already. I will see you all in the next one. Take care of yourselves, and bye-bye for now.